The DNC plans to start virtual roll call voting as soon as August 1st. And reports indicate that a vice presidential nominee could be chosen by the middle of next week, as in the middle of next week. According to NBC News, the Harris campaign has requested vetting materials from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. I'm joined by someone on that short list, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He is also, of course, the chair of the Democratic Governors Association and the co-chair of the DNC Rules Committee. He's a very busy man indeed. Governor Walz, thanks for taking a little time to join me tonight. First, I got to ask about the weirdness, the surreality of being so intimately involved in all of these proceedings, and then also on the list to be a potential vice presidential running mate with Kamala Harris. How does that feel?
Yeah, look, I'm a high school teacher, and yes, very surreal. But what I have to say is I would start out by saying more of your previous guests. Inject it right into my veins. That's the future that we're looking at. And so what I saw was, and what we all saw this afternoon in Milwaukee was an American future that we all want, one that we know that can be there. That sense of optimism, that sense of joy, that sense of hopefulness. Look, we were laughing with each other, not at someone. Just a positive vision. And so just to be a part of this, I'm all in. I'm all in on this positive future. I'm all in that we can heal some of these rifts. And I think you saw it. You saw soon-to-be President Harris exhibit all those qualities and a grace that America is so hungry for. So I can't tell you, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here. I've never felt this energy in an awful long time. America's smiling again. America believes in it. We're seeing other Americans as neighbors, not as someone to denigrate. I'll tell you, the smallness of the Trump campaign and the smallness of the Trump-Vance vision is in full display. And your previous guests showed that. Put anybody up against that, and I'll take those odds.
It feels like the equivalent of like a 72-hour emotional balloon drop just cascading over the Democratic Party, the sense of joy, relief, elation, all the things. I do wonder, though, you know, as the governor of Minnesota, there's been a lot of talk about how Trump is very much doubling down on white working class votes, how J.D. Vance is a direct, expression of that. I know you had some harsh words for J.D. Vance, and I think he said this morning on Morning Joe, people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small-town America. Talk to me a little bit more about why you think this is a gross miscalculation on the part of the Trump campaign.
Yeah, they don't. They tell us, and they think this is about, hey, look, I grew up in a town of 400 people. 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins. The things that make small towns work are good public schools, things that work about being good to your neighbors and helping out. And the golden rule of a small town, mind your own damn business. He wants to be in our exam rooms. They want to come and try and tell us they want to privatize our public schools. You think you're going to find a private school in the town of 400? These are absolute policies. His robber baron mentality as a venture capitalist gutted middle America, told us that it wouldn't work. So I have to tell you, they are misreading where people are at. Look, I won't underestimate. You can scare people. You can bring anger. You can tell them, oh, the brown man's going to steal your job. But these are good folks that just simply want a fair shake, and that fear doesn't work. What soon-to-be President Harris and building on the Biden legacy is bringing back good jobs, bringing back manufacturing jobs, investing in our public schools, treating teachers, nurses with dignity. Those are the things that are there. He's totally misreading this. The guy flips on everything. It frustrates me that somehow this, the denigration that Hillbilly Elegy did, that somehow this is a cultural anger or whatever. No, we're mad that Republican policies gutted our schools, gutted our communities, and now you have soon-to-be President Harris talking about reinvesting in that. I couldn't be more excited. And being from a small town, I refuse. Your previous guest was right. I'm a 50-straight strategy guy. We're going to win the governorship down in North Carolina. We're going to win it up in New Hampshire. We're going to compete in Montana. We're going to compete in Indiana because our policies work. This isn't rah-rah our team. This is what's good for the middle class. So I'm excited about it. And I think our messenger in Kamala Harris today, the joy and the smiles on people's faces. Look, I got a 23-year-old daughter. She's like, it's brat summer. We're back. They're there. Everything's just fired up again. It's good. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean, but I'm sure it's a good thing. So we're excited. So
I think a
It's
lot of
good-
people are
it's
getting
good. It's good to
familiar
see
with
this.
Brat Summer, Governor. I have to ask, though, because we're talking about J.D. Vance, who, of course, is Trump's running mate as of right now. The questions around when we're going to find out if, as Kamala Harris is the de facto Democratic nominee, when the feasible timetable for finding out who her running mate may be, because you are chair of the Rules Committee. We know that there's going to be potentially virtual roll call voting happening between August 1st and August 7th. Should people out there who are watching this eager with anticipation believe that the vice presidential nominee will be announced in that same time frame? Is there any indication you might give us?
Look, that's a choice that Vice President Harris will make. I think our rules are the way they've always been. It's the way we did it in 2020, voting virtually. It's an open process, by the way. Anybody who wants to run can, if you can get 300 delegates. It's going to be tough because everybody's lined up behind the vice president because they love the message, they love the hope. But you certainly can do that. We'll go through the process. We'll get a vote. It will then be the vice president's decision. You normally see this, that on the first day of the convention, the announcement is made. Most of this is just to meet the ballot requirements, because since January 6th, Republicans have tried to destroy our electoral system, and there's no sense of protecting the democracy. We want to make sure that we don't miss any deadlines, lock that up. But I think that'll be a choice for the vice president. It'll be one that we want to make sure that she picks someone as the right person for her and can lead us to victory, because I think all of us, there's one goal here: defeat Donald Trump and bring America back that we love.
Do you know that Donald Trump is tweeting about you being on Fox News, complaining, why did Fox News put up Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, where I am leading? They make me fight battles I shouldn't have to fight. Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, he has nothing better to do, apparently, on that. Look, this is,
He's complaining
I don't
about
get
Fox
it. I'm going to
News,
go and
Governor.
talk to these folks. Yeah, I know. Well, here's my thing, too, is just to be candid. In rural America, my relatives are watching Fox News. I get it, but I think we can take a message to them. But this idea of being obsessed with this, saying that, look, it's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight race, but we're going to win. And you talked about this new coalition, the Obama coalition. I'll tell you that I believe soon-to-be President Harris will win older white folks like me, like my family, because it's a message that matters to us. She's talking that we matter, that our schools matter, that our jobs matter, that our environment matters, those freedoms. These are weird people on the other side. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam room. That's what it comes down to. And don't, get sugarcoating this. These are weird ideas. Listen to them speak. Listen how they talk about things. Listen to how your previous guests were right. Like you said, they've told them that they shouldn't talk about race. They can't help it. It is built into their DNA because there is no plan. There's no health care plan. There's no health care plan. There's nothing to do on this. They want to take away our alliances and leave Russia to do whatever they want. Look, they are bad on foreign policy. They are bad on the environment. They certainly have no health care plan. And they keep talking about the middle class that, as I said, a robber baron real estate guy and a venture capitalist trying to tell us they understand who we are. They don't know who we are.
That's their version of economic populism. And let me tell you, that ain't a Brat Summer. I barely know what a Brat Summer is. I just know it's not that. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.